Bulls. Jacob, how's it going today?
Oh, it's amazing, Nick. How about you?
Oh, it's good. Sports are back. So today on this podcast, we're going to be talking about MLB opening day and the NBA scrimmages, kind of best of both worlds, and we're just going to quickly talk about them, talk about how it felt though. Jacob, how did it feel to have sports back?
It's been a good, 2 days now of sports being back, and
Man,
I've had a blast every single minute of it. So I've been trying to watch as much as I can. I've been my focus has been on the NBA, but
me
I
too.
have been kind of dipping my toes in the baseball a little bit.
Some may say Jacob Bowles is watching LeBron James right now.
So those people would be correct actually.
Because as we're recording this, breaking the fourth wall here, me and Jacob normally record about 12 hours later in the day. We normally record at midnight the day before these go up. It's noon. It's about 12:30, 12:40 right now. This is weird. It's light outside during a podcast. I think that's the first time ever since the first one.
We don't ever do this usually. Like we were pretty good about trying to get it early, and then after that we kind of just waited to get like a full kind of week recap
Exactly. So
of
we
what
waited.
happened.
Hey, they always go up on time, so that's all that matters.
Hey, without fail, every time, every Sunday.
So I guess you want to start off. We'll talk about the MLB opening day, since even though an NBA did kind of come back with scrimmages, I would say the MLB opening day is probably a little more important, a little more high magnitude.
It's America's game.
It's no, football is. Come on. I mean, like that's the good old saying, but but I am pretty sure this was the one of the most streamed opening days ever. Maybe
I did see that it was the most watched, I think, opening day of all time.
It's especially because we haven't had sports for 4 or 5 months, and the Yankees were the first game. I mean, I hate the Yankees, but the Yankees are good. They're probably going to win it this year.
Nationals are defending champs, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh God, I don't know. World.
It was.
That's what I thought.
They beat the Astros. Okay, I just wanted to be sure, but
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's the defending World Series holder versus the highest odds to win it this year with the Yankees. And then the second game was who I think is going to win it this year. Though I think the Dodgers are going to win it. They're damn good. I watched the Dodgers Giants game, and it was till I think at the bottom of the sixth, it was 1-1, and I was like, all right. I mean, the Giants are holding up with the Dodgers, and then Mookie gets on first base. I'm a Red Sox fan, so it broke my heart. Mookie gets on first, and then that bottom of the sixth or top of it was the sixth inning.
It was the bottom of the seventh. They scored 5 runs.
Okay, my bad. Bottom of the seventh, and then they just started hitting runs in. So I didn't watch the Yankees national game, but I know that game did get weren't they rained out for a minute, and then they kind of just called the game and gave the Yankees the win?
Yeah, I believe there's no point in making up one of these games in a 60-game season when it's already hard enough.
Exactly.
And after they didn't play the sixth, it finished in the sixth inning.
Did
so
it? Yeah, that's what.
So I mean, you were more than halfway through that game,
Yeah,
and
the Yankees were probably winning.
It was 4-1 at that point. It was the right call to make, and unfortunate that the very first game that gets returned.
Oh, I know it has to end, but hey, at least the Dodgers had a nice, entertaining game after that, and then we had a good slate of games.
And then yesterday, we had a very, very good
bunch of close games as well. I mean, you had the Pirates and the Cardinals. I know you're going to want to talk about that. Before we get into that, there's one thing I want to say. The Blue Jays, I don't know if you saw, but Canada told them we're not bringing American teams into our country. They denied the Blue Jays' request for the MLB.
Yeah.
So they were going to play in Pittsburgh with the Pirates and share, and then Pittsburgh denied them. So now the Blue Jays will be playing in Buffalo for the rest of the
Buffalo. Yep.
So I just want to talk about that while it's there. So the Blue Jays have a home.
They get a new home
for
the Buffalo Blue Jays.
The Buffalo Blue Jays for the rest of the year. So that's cool. And then I know you probably want to talk, because you're a big Pirates fan. You had a 1-point loss to the Cardinals. I'm sure you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Pirates. It's how Pirates have been. I mean, I didn't expect too much out of this season, but it's still tough to see them lose on the very first day, especially in a one-run game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they scored twice in the ninth to bring it to 5-4, and then
Oh, so they gave you a sliver of hope.
they gave me
Oh
some
man,
hope, and then
that
right at the end
sucks.
they couldn't capitalize on it. So, I mean, definitely the score looks better than what a game it was, but
Hey,
hey, I'll take it. Good props to the Cardinals,
hey.
and they're a good
All I'm
team.
saying is the Mets need to cherish this moment. They have a winning record. They won against the Braves, 1-0. The Mets have a winning record. Round of applause.
The Mets are better than the Pirates. I'm sad.
The Mets are part of the top percent right now. And then,
They're better than half the teams in
you
MLB
know,
right now.
I'm a Sox fan, right? You know me, Red Sox, not White Sox. They suck. We played the Baltimore Orioles, and oh my gosh, 13-2. I mean, the Sox were just
17 hits. That's a very good game for them.
yeah,
I mean, they are playing the Orioles, but still,
after they win the World Series in 2018, then they struggle last year. They lose Mookie, they lose David Price. I mean, Andrew Benintendi had a good game. JD Martinez had a good game. Bogarts, the X-Men, had a good game. I'm just if they can keep the hot fire up, that'd be nice because they kind of missed the playoffs after making the World Series last year, and I was very sad.
And then the World Series runners up, the Houston Astros they won their first
against
game
the Mariners.
yesterday against the Seattle Mariners.
I said Mariners. That's Mariners. Yeah.
It's baseball.
Oh, do you see the new Seattle hockey team?
The Kraken.
The Kraken? Didn't that uniform kind of look slick?
I don't think I saw the uniform, but I definitely saw
it's
the
like this, like
logo.
that's what I meant. The logo. I'm sorry. They look slick. They look slick. Go Seattle.
The logo looks. I mean, just the Kraken. That's a cool team.
Now
name.
all we got to do is get the Supersonics back. It's such a sports town. I don't know why the Supersonics aren't there, bro. All right, well, we're getting off topic. Screw the Astros. I love it when they get pegged. Ugh.
Yeah, that was good to see. I mean, it's probably going to happen a couple more times this season, especially after the whole scandal. And
there's only one Astro I don't hate, and that's Justin Verlander because he's going to single-handedly carry my fantasy baseball team this year. And he's a pitcher, so he doesn't hit anyway, so it's not like he was stealing.
He didn't even know.
He wasn't stealing signs. He was pitching. He didn't know. It's not...
it's not like he was hidden or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Let's forgive Justin Verlander for the sake of my fantasy team. I guess we can make this announcement in my fantasy baseball league. My name is this isn't football because it's not football. We are currently winning 85-46. You know, Justin Verlander 29 of my 85 points. That's why I think I want to forgive him.
Well, that's always a good reason. And then today in baseball, we got
a slate of games starting soon. Actually, in about 10 minutes. First game, the Cubs and the Brewers play. 10 minutes of the first game of the day. And then we got the Orioles and the Sox. Obviously it's baseball. They play in series. So everyone that played yesterday or Thursday are playing each other again. But
yeah, Giants, Dodgers play for a third game already.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So that's interesting to see. So I mean, we'll have to see how this whole kind of thing goes. I mean, game one, it seemed like they had it kind of under control. They know what they're going to be doing. It doesn't seem like there's some chaos going on. So I'm glad that for all you baseball fans out there, you actually get a chance to have your season. And
because for a minute, we talked about it in earlier pods, like when we were just talking about like the NBA coming back. Because I remember you asked, like, do you know what the state of baseball is? I vividly remember looking at him like, Jacob, it's a shitstorm, bro. Like, for a minute there, it did not look good. It looks like what the NFL is looking like right now, dude. Ugh.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the NFL or the Player Association just came to an agreement on.
Oh, did they?
Yes. I'm pretty sure the NFL.
Cool. That's what's up. You love that. We need football.
Yeah. I think they reached an agreement on like COVID adjustments to how the season's going to work. So I don't know how in depth they kind of got, but it's looking like it's starting to
balls moving. Wheels are turning.
The wheels are turning. There you go. That's a good way to put it. It's definitely starting.
So I guess, You wanna get into these NBA scrimmages? And
We'll start talking
the
about.
first thing I do want to talk about is how do you feel about the court and the environment that they're making there?
I liked the court a lot actually.
I
I thought
did.
it was I think it's a nice kind of design to it. I like the video kind of background, like how they're kind of trying to implement fan
Mm,
noises and
getting the
kind of
home
like
team logos up there just so.
yeah, stuff like that. I think like I mean obviously if you look on the benches, you can see the seats are all spread apart for the coaches and players. Most of them wearing masks if they're on the sideline. All the statisticians and I think most of the announcers are behind
Good
that kind of
words.
glass
Nice word. Nice word.
kind of glass shield
Yeah,
box thingy.
their hockey ring over there.
Hockey kind of
Yeah, plexiglass.
box looking
Plexiglass.
thing. Yeah, there you go. And so, I mean, I guess they're the ones who are coming in and out. So they're
Hmm.
kind of isolated from the players. They're just there for the game. And other than that,
And then
I,
I was happy that they put the Black
I
Lives
like
Matter
nice, yes, for sure.
text across. Like I was hoping they were gonna end because when they were talking about just doing like the jersey stuff and like the names on the back. I was hoping they'd do more like implement the fist or something there, and I was glad that they detailed that like big long right there on the side where it's always gonna be on the camera view right at midcourt.
Mhm.
I like that.
I don't know if I noticed any players with a changed name
Uh,
on the jersey.
don't start to the regular season, I believe.
It doesn't okay. That's what I thought, but I was
Yeah.
gonna say I didn't see anyone
It's
yet.
the
But I thought there would be a,
first 4 games of the regular season, and then after that, your name goes back on, and if you want to keep the message, it will be under your number.
oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a really cool touch.
Yep. And then for me, it felt so weird. All that empty space under the basket, more than the fact there was no fans, the fact that there was not freaking 20 cameramen just clunking down all that space. I hope they add. I mean, unless in the playoffs they do end up adding like the team's courts and putting them on there, I hope they just kind of add like anything, whether it is like a Black Lives Matter movement thing or anything down there in that empty space, just to fill the space, whether it's advertisement or you know anything.
I totally get what you mean. Yeah, there's definitely a whole. I mean, it's definitely a new, fresh idea. They don't know exactly. Maybe they'll keep adding stuff on. I'd like to see stuff like that if they added like you said, the fist or just maybe like a team logo or something like that. Just to spice it up a little bit. But other than that, like the actual gameplay, I want to say between the two teams,
It was a
and all
little clunky, but that's what to expect in a scrimmage where you're kind of
what you expect after them not playing
for 4 months, and
for months.
you're really not playing like a set lineup. You're running lineups that haven't really ran together.
Yeah, you've new players who haven't been on your roster before. I mean, like I know a lot of two-way players are kind of making their way onto the teams because they either have some out or some personal reasons some players are missing. So you got some new fresh faces in there. It's going to be weird for them. And especially since, like you said, you have no crowd or anything. It's got to be a whole different feel for them. I mean, they're so used to playing in front of tens of thousands of people, and then next thing you know, you're with less than 100 in the building.
Yeah. So I guess you want to kind of get into just talking about some stuff from the scrimmages. The first scrimmage we had was the Clippers versus the Magic there on what day was that?
It was Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah. And man, Paul George looked phenomenal that game, bro.
Paul George looked good. Lou Williams looked really good as well. I was very
Noah
impressed.
won the jump ball. That boy.
Lou
Lou Will's always the spark plug.
Yeah, I mean, Lou Will's gonna be coming off that bench. He's gonna be doing his thing. Especially, I mean, he's a starting caliber point guard, but he still comes off the bench for them. That just shows the depth of the Clippers right there.
Yeah.
And they looked rock solid their first game. The Magic actually kind of surprised me. They came out.
Yeah, they were hooping. Vooch is good. Vooch is so good.
Vooch is good. I like Michael Carter Williams actually had a good kind of first
little bit.
game.
I mean, I guess, but the real I guess the next game of the day, which had the real star of the night, was Bull coming out of nowhere. The Nuggets running a lineup that every player on the floor was taller than any Houston Rockets starter. Is what I saw.
I mean, it was. I think they had 2, maybe 3 players over 7 foot on that.
Yeah, I think Plumlee's close to 7. He's
Something
probably 7'1". He's a big guy. I mean,
close.
Plumlee, Jokic, and Bol, and then Paul Millsap and Jeremiah Grant,
Grant.
who are both power forwards, and they're undersized power forwards technically, but they're bulk. They're like 6'9" each, right? And but they're especially Paul Millsap. Paul Millsap's a unit.
He's a big. Yeah, he's just big in general. Like
I mean, Troy
Jeremiah
Daniel,
Grant,
your boy, your old
he's
Laker,
6'8", but
your
yeah.
old Laker at 22 off the bench. Troy Daniels.
For downs, yeah.
But I mean,
Jokic, it was cool to see him actually play point guard.
because he
Though
can.
that was the thing. I mean,
he's
skinny Jokic
and
after
he's the
this
best
whole-
center in the league. He's so good. You seen the new skinny Jokic running point guard now that he's got the speed and the mobility to do it because he lost that weight.
I mean, he had 8 turnovers, but that's just a scrimmage.
It's
kinda,
a scrimmage.
You're just messing around, throwing whatever you can.
I mean, he had
trying
some
to
cool highlights though, and then Bol with the 16, 10, and 6 blocks. Man, makes me so sad.
Double.
What was he? 44th pick in the draft, right?
It was pretty late. I remember
And
that.
you want to
Yeah.
know why it makes me really sad? Because this is what happens, all right? What is the name of the hold up? NBA second round draft. I mean, what is that guy's name? The guy that does it. Like, he's not Adam Silver, obviously. It's the other guy. I don't know his name.
I don't.
But the other guy who comes in as the second round, right? He comes up and he goes with the 44th pick in the 2019 NBA draft. The Miami Heat select Bol, and then we trade him to the Nuggets. The Heat drafted Bol and traded him. And then we drafted Casey Akapala, who hasn't really played much yet, but he's been. I mean, I think he's going to be a stud. But man, just imagine Bol. He comes into fruition, becomes an NBA player, and you get to run Bol and Bam together, both centers who can handle. Oh man.
Oh, it's.
But I mean, it was good to see Bol hoop, and I think Bol is one of those players that the whole NBA loves him.
Oh, he just seems
He's
like
a star of the league.
guy.
He's like he's like Alex Caruso. He's just like a star. Everyone
like
loves
a Taco Falls. Like
exactly.
it's just like a guy who knows not like a superstar.
And if he wasn't, if he didn't get injured in Oregon, he would have been top 10 pick in the draft. Like
Oh,
he's good. He
college.
should not have gone 44. That's like, why would you not want to take a risk on a 7'2", 7'3" point guard basically?
I mean, that was kind of like Michael Porter Jr. dropping from a automatic top 3, I'd say,
To
all the way up to like 17 or 18.
And
for the
he's
Nuggets.
so good, bro. Like, Michael Porter Jr. is going to be an all-star in this league. Bol can probably be a really good player, and the Nuggets stole them. And they still have Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, too, man. Like, once
who didn't play that game.
Just imagine especially Michael Porter Jr. more than Bol. If he can stay healthy next year, he will be a vital part of that team. I mean, imagine that's a big three with Jokic, Murray, and Michael Porter Jr. That's a big three.
Yeah, I like the Nuggets. They're definitely building for the future, and they're building a very solid team over there.
I love how they're building for the future, but still managing to be one of the best teams in the West every year.
I mean, Jokic is he's still pretty young, and he's the leader of that team, and
he's the best center in the league. So yeah,
he's the best center in the league. Yeah, so they're doing something right over there in Denver.
Yeah, I mean, Pelicans and the Nets had a game, I guess you can call that. The Pelicans kind of just blew them out.
I mean, the Nets have 6 of their usual 15.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then
15.
BI played 11 minutes and had 12 points. That's nice.
I mean, I watched that whole game because my girlfriend's a Pelicans fan. She's a Lonzo fan.
We've touched on her fishing of the ugly Lonzo.
It was just, I mean, it was not even like a competition. I mean, for a while there, I think at the beginning it was like 30-14, and then after that it just wasn't even close. I mean, Nets just had no one. They just had no one who can kind of score the load they needed to, and the Pelicans just had so many more people who are used to playing together, and this Nets team's just thrown together. So
the real question is, let me look at this box score real quick because I did not watch this game. I'm gonna just be honest with you. How did my boy play? Oh, they didn't play Jamal. That's why they lost. Should have played Jamal. Jamal Murray, not Jamal Murray. Jamal Crawford. Jeez, I was just talking about Jamal Murray. They should have played Jamal. That's the problem.
Yeah, they didn't play Jamal or Tyler Johnson, the two new
screw that guy.
signings. And I'm pretty sure didn't they just get what's his face, Michael Beasley?
I would assume so. That sounds like a thing they'd do.
Pretty sure they are gonna, or they signed, or they're going to sign him. Karis LeVert had himself a little.
He's a baller. He's a hooper.
He did what he could. I mean, 10 points. He went 5 for 18. Though that's the only thing. It was. But then again, when you're the only pretty decent one on your team, it's not gonna.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude. And then getting into the last game of the night, the game where we saw the big fans on the big glass screen be implemented with the Heat and the Kings. I mean, it was a close game, but like, it wasn't like I watched the whole game. Like the Heat were in control the whole time. I mean, Duncan Robinson before the game was asked by Ethan Skolnick, who is a South Florida reporter kind of guy that I pay attention to, and he asked, "So how long do you think it will take to get your jumper back to pre-COVID form?" And Duncan said something along the lines of shooters don't forget how to shoot, and then went and had 4 threes in the first 5 minutes of the scrimmage.
Yeah, he finished with 5. He went 5 for 8 from 3.
He's a hooper. Duncan's the best shooter in the league.
Yeah,
Tyler had a rough. Tyler Hero finished with 15, but man, I mean, he shot 35% from the floor. He was kind of struggling. Jimmy wasn't trying. Just watching that game, Jimmy was just trying to get the young guys going, and when they needed points, Jimmy would get a bucket, but he was just trying to get Duncan and Tyler going, I think.
I mean, that's what a leader has to do in these kind of scrimmages.
Making me feel confident. Iggy was hitting some threes. He attempted 5. He attempted 5 threes. He made 2 of them. I want to see him shoot. Like, this Heat team is going to be able to go to the NBA Finals if Iguodala can hit corner threes and just play good defense. Because when we first got him, like, and before this season went on its hiatus, he was just terrible. He wasn't hitting shots. If Iggy can knock down threes and just play defense, they're going to be so good.
He just needs to be a good role player. That's all he needs.
Exactly. And then tonight, the Heat play again, and Bam Adebayo, their all-star, their best player, and Kendrick Nunn, their starting point guard, are both cleared of COVID and back and cleared for basketball operations. So hopefully they do play tonight so I want to see where Kendrick's at than Bam, because Kendrick did have that Achilles injury, and he was starting the Heat back up again. So I want to see if he's still at that level, and then just watch Bam, who probably won't get that many playing times in a scrimmage. Kendrick will definitely get more. Bam might get some, but yeah. I mean, another stat line that I saw, Seth Curry went 6 for 6 from 3 in the.
He didn't miss a shot, I don't think, against the Lakers. Actually,
he's a hoot. Dude, I mean, Seth's just one of the. Every year he's not one of the most. He's not as a dynamic scorer and player like his brother, but every year Seth's one of the best. Has one of the best 3-point percentages in the league. He's a sniper.
He went 8 for 8. He went 6 for 6.
He's a sniper.
100% shooting on the day. That's pretty. Oh, I watched that game. Luka, there was a stretch there where he cooked Kuzma. I want to say 4 or 5 straight possessions.
Bro, Luka's so good, and Kuzma's just overrated, bro.
It was so
Can
bad.
you believe that there was a good possibility they had a chance between Kuzma and BI, and they decided to keep Kuzma?
I'll never get over that.
Oh man, I mean, Giannis had 23 points in 21 minutes.
Literally at that point, I think Kuzma had a higher value than Brandon Ingram.
And then because Brandon Ingram was kind of trash till this year, to be honest. So. Yeah. Giannis, 23 points in 21 minutes of playtime. That seems about normal. That seems about normal. He had a real nice dunk. I mean, Giannis is gonna Giannis, man.
Yeah. So. They looked good that game. Bucks beat the Spurs pretty handedly, 113-92. They're looking like they own the East again. I mean, it's a scrimmage, but
a couple stat lines that might pop up the screen. Andre Robertson played his first game since 2018. He made a 3. Everyone was happy, but I think Ben Simmons made a 3. Jacob.
Pretty sure Ben Simmons might have made more than 1 3.
No, he shot 2 threes, I think, and he made 1, but he shot twice. Apparently, he's been working with some I forget the exact word I saw.
I was gonna say this. Like, I literally saw on Twitter that he's actually like talking to some like psychiatrist.
Yeah, that's
or
what it was.
something
A psychiatrist about shooting, so he's more I will say
about
this
getting
once.
himself into confidence.
I
Yeah.
will say this once: if Ben Simmons becomes a confident shooter, he doesn't need to knock it down and be like a sharp shooting forward like Kevin Durant. But like, think about how dominant Kawhi became when he got more comfortable shooting and he started taking
Yeah.
those mid rangers and threes. I mean, if Ben Simmons can just confidently shoot threes and spread the floor, so like he doesn't need to be hitting them at a high rate. Like, think about how big of an impact Jimmy Butler had on the Heat this year. He shot like 26% from three. Just shoot him. Like, if he starts shooting them and he can confidently make them at like a 30% clip and he's able to spread the floor just a little bit more so Joel Embiid has his way to work. Dude, I mean, if he can confidently hit like 1-3 a game, that team is gonna go to the freaking finals, dude.
I mean, this is the time out there and chuck up.
Yeah, you don't got fans taunting you, bro. I mean, this is Ben Simmons. We always see at the start of every NBA season, it's Ben Simmons added a new shot to his arsenal, and it's Ben Simmons just making threes in warm-ups. This is kind of like maybe without the fans there, it's the warm-up environment. Maybe Ben Simmons becomes freaking Kyle Cover.
I mean, he's already shooting what 50% from three in the bubble. I'm just saying.
And I guess something that we can talk about right now. Live update currently 1:12 p.m. The Los Angeles Lakers are winning 59-45 against the Orlando Magic, and the Milwaukee Bucks are winning 47-38 against the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, so some live updates for you guys.
There you go. And the ad on my NBA screen says $2 large iced coffees at McDonald's, so I'll be right back.
Oh, I just saw Caruso with a nice drive layup. There you go.
There you
We're
go.
back. It's a great day.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, today's one of the more full days of basketball.
Yeah,
Actually,
there's 6 games on the slate today. We got the Heat and the
6
Jazz
games.
at 4. 4:30 the Nets and the Spurs. 8 o'clock the Clippers and the Wizards. And 8:30 the Nuggets and the Pelicans. Zion is officially back in the bubble, quarantining, by the way.
Zion is back in the bubble. I think they said maybe Monday he'd be able to come back.
Yeah, I think that's what I saw. He'll be cleared. And Montrezl Harrell and Zubac both are out of the bubble right now for the Clippers.
So did Lou Williams.
So did Lou? Oh, wow.
Lou Williams left as well, but yeah.
And so is Pat Bev. Oh, my gosh. So is Pat Bev.
There's a lot of there's a lot of players that recently I've been seeing that have been leaving the bubble for personal reasons. So, I mean, it looks like they're taking the NBA is taking the precautions.
Oh,
even
yeah,
when they're not even there. I mean,
they got to quarantine before
they
got to quarantine before they come back, and they got to quarantine when they're there.
Yeah, so I know Zion got tested daily. They did quarantine after they're done back at home, so they're doing a really good job. I think the NBA's might be the best.
Yeah, a lot better than the MSL, dude. I mean, haven't the MSL already had 2 teams leave Orlando? Just 2
MLS,
Have just 2 whole teams leave.
Nick, I always say MSL too because I'm so used to it.
Oh yeah, for those who don't know, our high school was in our division was called the MSL, so we just always I always say that.
Whenever I try to talk about like American professional soccer, I always say MSL. I'm just so used to it.
So used to, yeah, because we were the mid-state league in high school, and it's just, yeah. I didn't even know I just said that. Like, if you didn't say anything, I wouldn't have been tripping about it.
Yeah, but no, that's been going good. I mean, I think they're starting the knockout stage is actually soon. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's got to be the 25th. So it's tonight, actually. Some of the games start. Cool. So. Yeah, I know the crew play on the 28th, yes. So I think Monday. No. Tuesday. But yeah, good stuff.
Great stuff.
It's obviously great to have sports back. It's great to have something I can look forward to watching and spending my time with. But anything else you want to add to this, Nick?
No, I think that's probably about it.
Yeah, so I mean, we're still going to be following pretty much most of the sports that are be going on. I know hockey is starting up soon. I will try to maybe watch a game or two. Try to still going to be following. Get something to talk about there, and I'll be following the scores and stuff as well. But other than that, I think we about time to wrap it up.
I think it's time to hit it with the signature outro, Jacob.
Well, thank you guys for listening as always. Had a blast talking about finally the return of sports. It's almost too good to be true, but we'll be back next Sunday again with more content. So, bye-bye.
Boy!